Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
Tomorrow's attendance at a Moorhead Middle School could be unusually lower as parents and students continue to play it safe in the wake of two threats, both on social media, and according to police, both are hoaxes.
Police told us about an hour ago that the latest on social media is a copycat to what happened earlier. In both cases, there's talk of a possible active shooter threat at Horizon Middle School. Again, police say they're fake.
The first threat was enough to prompt parents to pick up their kids from school early and question why the school wasn't providing more information on what was happening. Valley News Team's Melanie Palmer has our story.
His exact words were, "Mom, could you please come pick me up?" And I said, "For what?" And he said, "Because there has been a threat of a school shooting, and I never heard my son talk like this. Like, it got serious." He said, "I don't want to die."
It's a message no parent ever wants to get from their child's school, that there's an active threat to their kid. But parents in Moorhead today wanted to know why the school wasn't telling them more about what was happening. Tamika Davis tells us she had no idea what was going on, but got a call from her child asking her to pick him up from school.
That they're evacuating the whole entire school.
When you were driving there, I mean, what was going on in your head? What were you?
I wanted to know why. Well, first of all, I wanted to know why weren't we notified, like, better?
We asked Moorhead schools about their communication system, but have yet to hear back. So we talked with some other school districts in the FM area. They tell us they're limited on what they can give out in emergency situations. And before they tell parents there is a threat to the school, they need to confirm if it's credible. And once they confirm the threat is valid, they have student privacy limitations, meaning they can't always give out the details about what is happening.
And something that we wanted to kind of focus on this story too is the school's communication in emergency situations.
It's horrible.
And Davis isn't alone. Other parents have told us the same thing. Davis says her child is so shaken up by everything that he will not be at school tomorrow.
My kid's not going to school.
That's what I was going to ask you. Your kid's not going.
Hell no.
In Moorhead, Melanie Palmer, Valley News Live.
The schools we talked with in the metro also tell us if they learn a threat is real, they work with police to know what kind of information they can tell parents without compromising the investigation. Moorhead police say that there will be additional police presence on Horizon school grounds tomorrow to ensure student safety.
Pretty quiet out there for most of us, but round 2 of the snow isn't too far away. Some areas might also see rain or sleet. Hutch has a closer look at what we can expect. Hutch?
Yes, the soupy skies continue across the southern Red River Valley. Heading into the overnight, though, we have quite a bit heading our way, and the National Weather Service has just issued a winter weather advisory for the eastern third of North Dakota and the Red River Valley counties of Minnesota for a light glaze of freezing rain topped off by upwards of an inch of snow. So that's what's heading our way. Here's the colorful display on radar, all moving from west to east, stretching from the northern Red River Valley into the southern James and Missouri River valleys. See that the temperatures out to the west are much warmer. That's where we have that risk for rain, and that's going to fall and freeze on frozen road surfaces. The hour-by-hour forecast has it moving through most of our counties by the time we get to 3 or 4 in the morning and then tapering off first thing. But any travel tonight or first thing in the morning could once again be quite slippery. Details on a warm-up, though, here in a few minutes.
All right, we like the sounds of that. Thanks, Hutch.
You bet.
Still no sign of a 33-year-old man wanted in connection with a child neglect case. Authorities are looking for Joshua Messer. A second person in the same case, 28-year-old Brittany Messer, was formally charged today. Court documents show that the married couple from Galesburg had 2 children who both tested positive for drugs. The one child tested positive for meth, the other tested positive for marijuana. The children have since been taken away from the parents.
Police in Minnesota are warning parents about dangerous apps marketed toward kids that make it easy for child predators to get in contact with them. They're warning about apps like Bumble, Whisper, and Kik. But the most concerning one on the list is called Holla. It's a live video chat that matches people up from all around the world. We made a profile with a guy and were matched with a guy named Logan from Texas. He warns of the large amounts of nudity on the app and says you never know really how old the person is on the other side.
A lot of people lie about their age up here. My age is real, but I've seen where people put 29, and when they show up, I'm like, you're definitely not 20. You don't really have to verify that.
Experts suggest you monitor your kids' screen time and take their phones at bedtime. They also say it's a good idea to regularly go through them.
An 8-year-old's quick reaction helped save her mom's life.
And today, she and her neighbor were honored by family, friends, and emergency responders for their acts of bravery. Valley News Team's Joshua Pagero has the story.
It makes me feel really happy to have Mama home.
If it wasn't for Sloan Stoltz thinking on her feet, we'd most likely be telling a different story. But on Wednesday, the 8-year-old was honored for saving her young mom's life after she suffered a massive heart attack.
She's the reason that I'm here.
This all happened on Sunday, November 25th. Sloan's mom, Katie Stoltz, considered healthy by doctors, suddenly collapsed at her Fargo home. Instead of freaking out, Sloan picked up her mom's iPhone and FaceTimed her aunt in Grand Forks.
And she's always been really mature for her age, and I think this just shows her level of maturity and how smart she is.
While on the phone with her aunt, Sloan knocked at her neighbor's home, Mark Donowski.
I am a hero, and it has everybody that helped you that day.
She immediately asked him for help.
I went into shock, and it was very terrible, and I just kind of took over from there, tried to do a little CPR. Before I knew it, the firefighters were there, and they were taking care of business.
And for her actions that day, Sloan was honored by the EMS community at the Dakota Medical Foundation. Yet she says the recognition makes her feel uncomfortable because it brings up that day when she nearly lost her mom.
It just makes me feel weird because every time somebody talks about it, it just makes me think back to it, and I don't really like to think back to it because it makes me scared.
Sloan's advice to other young kids placed in an emergency situation is to immediately get the attention of an adult. In Fargo, Joshua Pagero, Valley News Live.
Emergency personnel today stressed how important it is to learn CPR and to speak to your children about what to do in an emergency.
3 years in prison for an ally of the president who is implicating the president's campaign in the illegal payment of hush money to women who claim to have affairs with Mr. Trump. That bombshell fell today just after former personal attorney Michael Cohen was sentenced for his part in those payoffs and other crimes. Cohen's story is now being backed by someone else close to the president who is also cooperating with prosecutors.
The weight of the evidence against Mr. Trump is starting to build. It's not just Mr. Cohen, it's also this company. And they agree that the president directed these payments and did so to influence the election.
The judge also ordered Michael Cohen to report to prison on March 6th, and in the meantime, he might continue cooperating with Robert Mueller's investigators.
The Great Plains Food Bank is thanking the U.S. Senate and House of Representatives for passing the Farm Bill. They say it'll help over 97,000 hungry people each year. The Farm Bill, again passed by both branches of Congress, makes investments in SNAP job training without adding additional work requirements for those on the program. Each year, more than 54,000 individuals across the state of North Dakota rely on the SNAP program during difficult times. As much as 10% of the food distributed annually by the Great Plains Food Bank comes from government programs.
A pair of Belgian horses from southeastern Minnesota are internet stars after a video captured them pulling a stranded semi up an icy hill last week. Lizzie Hirschberger posted the now viral video to Facebook on December 5th. It's since been viewed more than 650,000 times. The truck driver was reportedly delivering an empty trailer when he spun out on icy roads. The horses that came to his rescue were named Molly and Prince. They wore anti-slip footwear. Hirschberger and her husband say that the two Belgian horses are 13 years old.
If the snow has you itching to get on the ice, the Fargo Park District will be opening a few select warming houses and outdoor skating rinks this Friday. The rinks at places like Downtown on Ice and Lemke and Kennedy will open Friday. Warming houses are open Saturday and Sunday from noon to 8 and Monday through Friday from 4 to 8. The hours are subject to change depending on the weather. All remaining outdoor rinks will open as weather and ice conditions allow. The warming houses in West Fargo and Moorhead are open. West Fargo has the same hours as Fargo. In Moorhead, it's Monday through Friday, 4 to 8, Saturday and Sunday, 1 to 8.